The real role of sales and sales leadership is to try to enable your target client, your prospect, to be able to buy from you. But you're trying to enable them to appreciate the value that you can bring to the table and why they should select you versus some other offering. That's a journey to get to that trust at the end of that. So you have to know somebody, you have to be able to relate to them in various levels, and then ultimately you have to be able to trust them if you're going to buy from them.
Welcome to People at Pyramid, a weekly podcast that introduces you to your fellow Pyramid Club members. My name is Vince Quinn, the Content Studio Director, and I'm here to showcase the stories of your fellow members, explore the ways that they can help you and your network, and make it easy for you to connect. With that, let's meet our next member.
Hello, members. My name is John Reed. I am a member of the Pyramid Club for about 2 years. I'm managing director of my own LLC, Pinnacle Consulting.
And what do you do at Pinnacle Consulting, John?
Great question. So Pinnacle Consulting is really the extra step or the next step in my career. I spent many years in corporate America in sales leadership positions. And about 2, maybe 3 years ago, I decided, well, that was fun, but time to try something else. So I formed my own LLC, and now I'm taking all those experiences in corporate America, big company, B2B type of interactions, and applying them to help small to medium-sized business owners with their sales achievements.
Yeah, and I love that. And obviously you lead the sales roundtable here. We will talk about that later. But so plenty of things to talk about with it. But what's your philosophy? Because I think when it comes to sales, because a lot of people, I think, psych themselves out about the idea of sales and like, oh my God, I need to sell.
Right.
So just on a baseline, like how do you like to approach sales?
So there's a couple things there. That's a great question. First of all, it should be a philosophy from the top down that everybody's in sales in the company, right? Everybody should be, quote, trying to promote either their services, their products, their philosophy, their positions, et cetera. Everybody in the company should be equipped to be able to have that conversation, because you never know when somebody in, accounting might have a conversation going with somebody that could be a potential client. And you need that person to be able to articulate what it is you do and the value you bring to the table. But to get back to the initial question, which I think is a great one, the real role of sales and sales leadership is to try to enable your target client, your prospect, to be able to buy from you. Not that you're selling, but you're trying to enable them to appreciate the value that you can bring to the table and why they should select you versus some other offering that they might be considering.
Interesting. So yeah, it's not attack,
yes.
Right? It's like welcoming in is the basic idea.
Exactly. And one of the first steps is discovery, right? You need to understand the business of your potential client, of your target opportunity that you're running with, and understand their business and what problems they're having, do some diagnosis, and then come up with a proposed solution that they hopefully will appreciate how you can bring value.
Yeah.
The key thing is that you bring a unique perspective that. Right. There's a number of concepts here. People buy from people they know, like, and trust. Right. So that's a journey to get to that trust at the end of that. So you have to know somebody, you have to be able to relate to them in various levels, and then ultimately you have to be able to trust them if you're going to buy from them. And trusting includes being able to recognize that they understand your business. So if I'm in a business and I see you as a supplier of whatever, it doesn't matter, versus somebody else, and I trust you more because you have exhibited an ability to understand me and my business and how I position myself in the market, I'm going to
These episodes are typically pretty brief. I feel like I could talk to you for like 5 hours just about that answer. Like there's so many different things to get into. The aspect of having everybody in the company being aware that they are a salesperson. I've heard stories before of people having no idea how to describe what their company truly does, and think about the missed opportunity of that, and really just the lack of shared vision, right? Like you think about a well-run company, it's where are we going? Why are we doing these things? Who are we truly serving? Like, why does it matter? And when people don't have that disconnection, they leave, they get frustrated. You know what I mean? Like there's really a top-down aspect to that.
Affects various elements of the organization, certainly your relationships with your potential client, but also, as you mentioned, the internal mechanisms of the company itself. If there's a shared vision of who we are, what we do, the why of the company, which is really important. Why do we do what we do? Not just what and how, but why do we do this? If that is pervasive in the organization, people feel good about the company they're working for.
Yeah. So, okay, let's move on a little bit. I want to take it outside of the workplace.
Yeah.
So, John Reed in his free time.
Yes.
What do you like to do, John?
Well, great question. In the couple minutes that I have free, I certainly like to play golf. So, I'm a member of a golf club, and that's great. And I get to play, once a week, maybe when the weather's nice. So here we are in February in Philadelphia in 2026, and trust me, I haven't played golf in a while. So we'll see how the swing works when the snow clears. But yeah, play golf. I have 3 wonderful kids, 3,
yes,
and then 4 grandkids that we adore tremendously. And fortunately for us, all of them are close by, within striking distance, 2 hours, 2+ hours. So, there's an opportunity to go visit them and spend time with them. And then I do some volunteer work as well.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
What kind of work do you do there?
So involved in a couple organizations. One is to help veterans make the transition out of service into the private sector. That's something that, I think is certainly addressed in a number of areas, and I just wanted to try to contribute to that whole effort. And I also am involved in helping some MBA students at the MBA school I went to, Fox, here in Philadelphia.
Cool.
So I just started that. So that's not something I've been doing for a while. And then I'm on a board for helping startups in Bucks County.
Love it. Okay. Yeah. So you are a busy guy.
Well, yeah. Try to stay out of trouble.
Yeah. But they're like good things, right? It's like problem solving and helping people. And there's a lot of good stuff in that. So I love all of it. And what I want to do here, because we are getting towards the end, is let's talk about the sales roundtable, John.
Exactly. Let's do that.
Yeah. So let's say I'm a brand new member. I've never heard of the sales roundtable before. Please describe it to me.
Yes. Well, first of all, there are a number of wonderful roundtables here at the Pyramid Club. I can go through the list, but there's, 3, 4, certainly 8 different roundtables addressing different topics. Sales roundtable is one of them. And the way I like to try to position it, so I've been running that, I've been chair of it for about a year and a half, roughly. The way I like to position it is, while its name is the sales roundtable, it's not just for people that think of themselves in, quote, sales. It's really for salespeople, sales leaders, and business owners who are interested in accelerating their revenue growth. And that should be most every member of the Pyramid Club. And we focus on issues that are sales related. How can I improve my revenue performance? How can I be better effective at how I position myself? How can I use technology? AI. There's a concept. Yeah. How can I use AI in the various stages of a sales process to make it more efficient, more effective?
Yeah.
As examples.
Those are the things that we're talking about right now, just me and Taylor behind the scenes there. Yeah. Like things of, okay, how do we run campaigns to connect with the right kinds of people, track that through automations where we have spreadsheets with all of these people, logging those processes, having AI help us with qualification.
Exactly.
So everything else, and we're a 2-man shop, we're a small business, but like those are the things that I feel like you have to do just to keep up and run an effective company.
Right. Well, one of the things, and I know we're a little short on time here, but one of the things that AI compresses the time to done, no matter what the task is, right? It's going to let you do something in 30 seconds that would have taken you half a day, right? before. So one of the areas that you can start with initially is research, right? So I'm big on making sure you understand your target market, understand who you're trying to talk to, who in the organization is the right person. All that research, took days before. Now it takes 2 minutes.
It really does. It's amazing what like a custom GPT can do.
Oh, it's amazing.
Right? It's really incredible. So, another thing to think about here, because we've talked a little bit about this philosophical element and having all of this alignment and a clear sense of like vision and tools with the people you're talking to. But I want to talk about what is something that people tend to get wrong in sales? Where do they go the wrong direction?
Yeah. So it certainly is still there quite a bit. It was, I'll say, pervasive early on. When I say early on, maybe 10, 20 years ago. But people like to talk about their product right out of the gate, talk about their service. And they go to that probably quicker than they should. In an initial conversation, you do some discovery, you try to understand the business issues, and then they're quickly going to, wow, I've got a product for you, and this is wonderful, and this is what it costs, blah, blah. So they're talking about their product really too early in the process. You should really spend time doing the diagnosis before you bring in the patient and open them up and trying to do surgery.
Yeah, well, and let's take it from that B2B standpoint, right? Because you've talked about like medium-sized businesses, B2B space. So, I mean, what is a good cadence for that kind of thing? Like, how long does it take?
Yeah. And I hate to say it, but it depends.
Yeah.
But your first conversation should be all about them. It's, maybe a little bit about you and what you do, because they need to get a sense of that. But if you're doing all the talking and not as much listening, it's not a really good first conversation. So that first conversation should be trying to understand them, their business, what their issues are. And then you put a plan together to say, okay, so the next conversation, we're going to frame that a little bit, maybe dive into some of the issues a little bit deeper, and then ultimately come up with a plan that addresses those problems. And here's the key, in a unique way that has a bias towards your capabilities. Right?
Yeah.
And the other thing is, if you can get them to say, gee, I hadn't thought of solving my problem that way, based on your insights, based on your unique capabilities, if they say that, then you've got a unique hook that can help them make a decision to do business with you.
Yeah, and let me share something with you that I've messed up as I've done this, because I've been in a similar situation, B2B, medium-sized businesses. And one of the things that I've done in the discovery process is I've made assumptions where I'm doing discovery, I'm asking a lot of questions, it's getting somewhere, and it's close to getting the real answer, and then I make a leap and I say, oh, so you're having a problem with this. Yeah. Like, I've seen that a lot, and they're like, actually, no, it's this, and how that can derail a conversation, and the trust, right? Like, as you talk about that trust, it's like, oh, no, they actually don't understand my problem because I've been too quick to try to diagnose.
So, without going into a diagnosis here, one of the ways to maybe position it a little differently is to say, ask the question. Don't say, so your problem is, make a statement, say, ask the question. So is your problem X?
Yeah.
And that gives them a chance to say, no, not really. It's Y. And that way you get a little more information.
Yeah, see?
It's more conversation.
These are the subtle tips that we need, John.
Hey, come to the Sales Roundtable.
Well, yeah.
I know you do. Members that haven't been there, come to the Sales Roundtable.
When is it?
Sales Roundtable is every second Wednesday of the month at 8:00 here at the club.
So make sure you come out. Yeah, John you do a great job, because I'm talking to you. I almost talked about you in the third person in front of you. But you do a great job with this, and you listening, John does a great job with this. So come out to the Sales Roundtable. Absolutely check that out. And John, thank you so much for your time.
This was great. Thank you.